I said, hey, what's up? Hello, this is Clock Tower puzzle number 12A, because this is going to be a two-parter. We got 12A and 12B. We'll start with 12A, though. We'll start with 12A. And as you can see, not only is it a two-parter, but we got some doomsayer action in the mix. So, a bit of a unique puzzle video we got today. Now, in this puzzle, 12A, we are the dreamer. And there's a Vortox in play and one minion between Spy and Scarlet Woman in play. So we're going to have to figure that out. As you can see, it's also a Teensyville. So just 6 players should be easier than 12B. And if Doomsayer, in case you don't know, when a player calls it, a player of the same alignment dies, as you can see right here. A player of the same... player of the same alignment dies. You can see it. And then 1, 2, and 3 in order of things that happened publicly. So before I get into it and figuring out where the Vortox is and whether Sarah actually drank with the Vortox and whatnot, go ahead, pause the video, try to solve it yourself. I'll give you a shot. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. Sweet. Now, let's get right into it. So first things first, we call Doomsayer and we kill Sarah. That is really important to keep in mind. That means one of two possibilities. Sarah is either the courtier, or Sarah is the spy, right? So 1 demon, a Vortox, and then 1 minion, a Spy or Scarlet Woman. Spy might misregister, of course. This is like a clarification on the spy ability. It's considered false info and is not altered by the Vortox ability. And then an example. An empath sitting between a Vortox and a spy could see 0 or 1, but not 2. Now, there's one outsider in play, the lunatic. This is important information. They never deduce they are the lunatic in this puzzle, so they will lie and provide arbitrary information. We know we are not evil or the lunatic, so who is the demon, who is the minion? If you haven't solved it by now, then let's go ahead and get into it. So first things first, let's figure out the case of Sarah. Is Sarah a good person or a spy? Well, we can go ahead and start by assuming Sarah is actually the courtier. Or courtier, or whatever, right? So we know we're good. We know Sarah's good. So Sarah's saying, I drunked the Vortox on night 1, and we're all getting correct information. Let's look at our information. Sarah is the lunatic or the Scarlet Woman. Very strange. Like, what? What is this information? Let's assume the Vortox is drunk. This has to be true information. There is no other way for us to be poisoned or drunk. Meaning, I'm not seeing courtier here. Or spy, for that matter. Interesting. It's almost like Vortox is in play, right? Lunatic, even if Sarah was the lunatic, we would then be getting false information, because that means there is no drunkening happening of the Vortox. Meaning, we would not be seeing lunatic if Sarah was the lunatic. Essentially, yes, that means we can straight up eliminate the world that Sarah is good at any point. Meaning, when we call Doomsayer, we actually killed the spy. And we instantly know that. So we can go ahead and cross that out. So now we know it's a spy, not a Scarlet Woman. We know the demon is between 3 people. We now know Tim is good, and we know Hannah is good. So that is important to know. Hannah shot Fraser, who did not get hit. But Fraser saying both of his neighbors are good. Very interesting. The demon sits 2 spaces away from the minion. Very interesting. Do you see the situation at hand? That is right. Fraser is giving bad information. This is a Vortox game. This is true information in a Vortex game where these two are both good players. Fraser is confirming that, but that should be false information. But Fraser got shot, and if Fraser was the Vortex, he'd be 2 from Sarah, who is the spy. That would make Clockmaker information true, which we know is false, meaning Fraser is indeed our lunatic, which leaves us with 1 soul as our demon. That's right, it's Jasmine. Jasmine's our demon. You can see that was a really quick puzzle. As we figured out really quickly that Sarah could not be a good player, a courtier. So after figuring out Sarah was the spy, we pretty much get through the rest really quickly. If we focused on like Hannah and Tim first, and it's like, oh, what if Hannah's evil and Tim is evil as the Scarlet Woman or spy, or maybe Tim was the original Vortex to Hannah. Like, yeah, we could have started that way, but that would make it drag so much longer. Ultimately, this was indeed the correct solution. So now, that's 12A. Now let's get to the real meat. 12B. So, take a moment to look at this and digest what the puzzle is. Give it a shot yourself. Especially now that we solved the first one, now you have a general idea of how you could solve this one. Except, of course, we aren't calling Doomsayer anymore, but I digress. So, what's going on? Oh, I have to click it. LOL. Okay. We got 1 demon of Vortex and 1 minion, a spy or Scarlet Woman. Again, spy might misregister with some clarifications on how it works. 1 outsider, the lunatic. They never deduce it. Very important. Who is the demon and who is the minion? So now we are a librarian, not a dreamer. Sucks, but it is what it is. So either Fraser or Steph is the lunatic. That, in a Vortex world, is directly false information, unless, of course, Steph did confirm, hey, I drank with it. Hopefully you've had enough time to pause and try it yourself, but let's go ahead and get to it, if not. So I think the first thing we can do is figure out what Steph is, or what is happening with Steph. The reason I say this is because Steph was Slayer shot and then proceeded to Doomsayer someone, putting Steph in in a 3-person chain, which can help us figure out where things are going. Not only that, but we saw Steph as a lunatic, and Tom saw Steph as a lunatic. But it's almost surely that Steph, again, much like with wait, who's Shirley? Much with like the thing with 12A, where you can't be a courtier, and then we see you as a lunatic when you say you drank with the Vortex. Like, Steph cannot be, we know we're good, Steph cannot be the lunatic. Tom is seeing Steph as the lunatic. Steph was Slayer shot, so Steph cannot be the demon with Fraser minion, or vice versa, because then Steph proceeds to Doomsayer Oscar, unless Steph is the spy registering differently with Oscar and Fraser. Steph cannot be the demon, is what I'm saying, because let's go down this path. Let's say Steph is the Vortex. That means Steph killed. Oops. That means Steph killed his minion immediately. Boom. Who was also shot by Fraser, since there's no droisoning in this. That means Fraser has to be the lunatic, right? The only issue is we saw Fraser as a possible lunatic. We know we're not the lunatic. We know Steph's not the lunatic. If Fraser's the lunatic, then how did we get truthful information of Vortex game? That's the issue at hand. Otherwise, Tom's info checks out, Josh checks out, Anna checks out. Actually, Anna's, if it's a spy, if Oscar's a spy, then it checks out. Aofi checks out. Like, yeah, this would have checked out, but as a result, It doesn't. And so Steph can't be the demon. So let's approach something else. What if Steph is the Scarlet Woman? Okay, hear me out. So Steph is the Scarlet Woman who first got Slayer shot and then killed Oscar, their demon, right? This is a possible world. And just for simplicity, Scarlet Woman, right? Vortox got killed by their own Scarlet Woman, so now we can ignore this. We know there'll be in Vortox in play. We can ignore this because it's the Vortox. This checks out as good. This also would check out the Slayer shot because it happened before the Scarlet Woman turned into a Vortox. Tom is seeing Steph as the lunatic or the spy. Both are incorrect, and since it's a Vortox world, that actually checks out. Tom kills Josh with a doomsayer, which checks out. This would also check out, by the way, and we can say this checks out as well. Anna is seeing truthful information unless Anna is the lunatic. That's right. This is the actual world. And this is why when it comes to these puzzles, finding the key piece of who is getting a lot of the attention in the puzzle is how you solve it. Because that is how you figure out how you kind of tear it down, right? So Steph is going to be, in this case, the key piece because he got Slayer shot and then proceeded to doomsayer someone of his own alignment, which is why it was really important to start with Steph. And we like to assume first evil before good. As you can see, we got, okay, not Vortox. Okay, if we did spy, we would have figured out, okay, can't be spy. Well, obviously, if he was a spy, he killed his own Vortox and the game ends. Unless, of course, you could argue spy killed his own or registered as good and killed another good player. That is also an argument to be made. But then the issue becomes Tom has to be the lunatic or the lunatic who killed. It has to be the lunatic. Tom would have to be the lunatic in that world. Because, here, I'll explore it for you. This is the answer, by the way. But let's proceed with this idea. So spy, right, who got Slayer shot and then killed a good player. Has to be a good player. Registered as good for. And then Tom is seeing Steph as a lunatic or spy. Yeah, that's not possible, buddy. So Tom has to be either the lunatic or the Vortox. Specifically has to be the lunatic, though, because killing another good player, the Vortox wouldn't be able to do this, right? So this checks out, this would check out, this would check out. So then Fraser is killing someone else, right? Meaning he has to be good. And then Iofi has to be good as a result of this, meaning Anna has to be the Vortox, right? Regardless of the information being like real in a Vortox game, it doesn't matter. Anna is the only candidate for Vortox. The only issue is Iofi's information, 1, 2, 3, becomes untrue or becomes true in a Vortox game, making it untruthful. So that is why this cannot be a real world. And that's my point, though, right? You just continue to follow along with who is the main focus of the puzzle. In this case, it was Steph. We figured out what Steph was, and it solved the puzzle cleanly after that. So, yes, Steph, Scarlet Woman, Oscar, our demon, and Anna is our lunatic. Everyone else is good. Thank you, and make sure you watch my last puzzle video.